Hello, coming to you on a very weird Wednesday. Um, I just needed to come on and do a little free therapy for myself and for all of you. I want to talk about just the energy. The amount of conversations I've had today, and I don't talk to a lot of people often about this energy. These are people who are not necessarily astrologers or awakened, and it just seems like everyone's feeling it. So I wanted to just pop on. It's 3:33 my time, and check in with all of you. I'll mention a couple of the symptoms that I've been experiencing, and then I want to just like read your comments and like see where you guys are at too. So I've had a little bit more energy this week, which is nice. My dreams have been insane. I understand that I'm pregnant and dreams are weird when you're pregnant, but literally the dreams are just so extreme. Like they're so emotionally charged. They're so vivid. They don't make any sense whatsoever in my life. And then there's this like really heavy lack of motivation. And this has been consistent throughout March to a point where it's almost like the word that I want to use and the word that I've heard from person after person is like a depressed energy. I've never clinically gone through depression. Definitely a lot of anxiety, but not depression. But there's this really heavy, palpable feeling of apathy. Okay. So where are you guys at with this? And then on top of that, it's a Wednesday. I keep thinking it's a Friday. Time has been weird, and for me it's been really really slow. Are you guys feeling slow time? Okay, and then this is why I had to really hop on in the middle of my freaking lack of motivation day. I go into my wife's office and I don't even know why I went in there. I'm just like mulling about, like, should I take the dog out? Like, what can I do other than anything I have to do? And she literally, the words from her mouth, she's like, I feel like we're waiting. I feel like we're waiting. And I just blew my mind because I was just thinking in my own office about this feeling of waiting. Like, today, just this feeling today. I've been like checking my phone, thinking that I'm waiting for something, but I don't know what it is. And when I asked, my wife, I'm like, what do you mean waiting? Because I wanted to get her perspective on it. She's like, well, I don't know. I just feel like maybe it's the baby. Or like, are we waiting for the baby? I'm like, I don't think that's it. Like, it just is this hitting me today of like this feeling. And yeah, we are waiting for a baby to come into our lives, but it's this weird tension of like something is about to happen. And I don't know what it is. It's like a suspenseful pause. It is the weirdest freaking energy. And I wanted to hop on and say, do you guys feel like weird time stuff? Do you also kind of feel depressed? Not to use that word lightly, but a lack of motivation. Are you feeling like you're waiting for something, but you don't know what it is? Like, where are you guys at? I have to read your comments because anyway, I just had to vent because I'm like, I can't be the only one feeling this. All right, we got Lisa. Yep, absolutely. Feeling the same. Felt so weird last night and today and this past weekend. Totally. 1,000% in the waiting room. Just talking about this with my husband. Like, what are we waiting for? And then at the same time, like shit's going down financially, globally. That's got to be part of it. And then this shooting and like just a couple like very clear agendas popping out. I don't know. Yes, I feel like I'm about to jump. Super weird dreams. Yeah, really vivid dreams. Like, and I can't make sense of them. Feels like a tunnel vision of tension we're walking through. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a heart nurse and we've had a run of super challenging procedures, like a year's worth of crazy in one weekend. Okay. Absolutely. People in the service industry, I couldn't imagine. Nurses, even Uber Eats drivers, I can't even, people who just work at CVS, like, it's almost like this full moon energy, but like way, way different and like way more intense. And it seems like it's not ending. It just seems like there's no end in sight. Weird, heavy, violent dreams. Yeah, just like really extreme emotions. I feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to. You and me both. It's the only experience I can kind of compare this to would be like an ego death. It feels like this long, drawn out, subtle, like death that's happening. Not to be like dramatic. Feeling drained. Yeah, super exhaustion, like massive amounts of exhaustion. I think it's part of the apathy. Feeling unmotivated, waiting for the next step, feeling the same. Yeah, absolutely. For some reason, I'm waiting to make a choice, and I know for some reason I have to wait. I don't know why, though. Yeah. Yeah, it's this weird, almost like a calm before the storm. Like, I don't know, anxiety. Yep. Yeah. A lot more people are aware and they're scared. Yeah, I feel that. Been in bed all day until minutes ago. For sure, you're not alone. Um, yeah, maybe I will channel it. I don't know. Like, is it just an astrology thing? Is it all of it? Is it the financial collapse? Let me just tune into it. I think it's all of it. I don't know if there's going to be anything like revolutionary coming through in the channel, but for my sake, as well as yours, yeah, let's tap in and see WTF is this month. Like, and it's really ironic, but not like synchronistic, I guess, how I channeled that the topic of this month on my membership was all about the collapse of the old earth. And I pre-record my membership content 6 to 8 months in advance. And March 2023 is all about the collapse of the old earth. And like, here we are. So it's funny how things happen like that. All right, let me just tap in. Let's see what's going on. Like, yeah, just 1 second. Let me just try and calm my reactionary mind here. 1 sec. Interesting. This is really fascinating. Okay. Okay. I'm going to just like relay what I saw and then maybe I'll tap back into it, but I definitely wasn't expecting that. Now, before I get into what I just saw, I want to just talk about the other factors that are taking place. We've got huge astrological planetary transits or whatever the hell is happening with the planets. We've got massive solar flares taking place, and we do have the collapse of the old world systems, specifically finances, which is fuck yeah, but also really scary. So there's a lot happening, right? And then on top of that, we've got the solar flares that are hitting planet Earth that are making things really weird. So it is a combination of all of those things. And then on top of that, this is what I just channeled about, like, what else is there? Like, what else is going on? And as always, take it or leave it, because what channeling is, especially when you take a look at the future, all I'm doing is taking a look at potential future timelines and seeing which ones are the most probable, and then seeing the potential outcome of those probable timelines, but nothing is set in stone. That being said, anyway, How do I even describe this? Okay. Right now, it feels like there is a decision being made on the back end. So we're talking Earth's planetary contracts, we're talking Galactic Federation stuff, and the decision, and then also shadow government stuff. And the decision that's being made is if there needs to be an intervention in the form of what came to me, once again, take it or leave it, in the form of a solar flash or solar flare. Like a big event, like a global event. But that's what it looked like. And it looked like April. Like this April, like a couple days away, is a potential timeline for this to happen. It doesn't surprise me because we do have some sort of giant hole in the sun's atmosphere. I don't know. Like I just read that the other day, not sure what that means or if it's even valid. And then we've also literally have been having huge solar flares. And that's why there's been the northern lights that have been seen all over the world. So it's happening. Now, if you join the Galactic Federation summits, you'll know that over the past year, but over the past couple of months, they've been talking about the solar flash or solar flare as an event that is like ripping off the awakening band-aid. Now, what's really fascinating about this, once again, take it or leave it. How do I even describe this? I wish I had like a whiteboard. If you think about two different timelines splitting, right? The Earth splitting. And yeah, we could say 3D and 5D, but it's way more quantum, way more complex than that. But there's a split in our timelines. One timeline is we continue moving in the direction that we're moving in, which, yeah, we're collapsing shit, but at the same time, we've got some massive, massive shadow government, new Earth, new, what is it called? New World Agenda? Yeah, like the, whatever it's called. The agendas, okay, taking place. New World Order agendas. And then the other timeline is like the intervention with some sort of big event, which would really be the solar flare or a cosmic. This is what I've seen as well, which is different than a solar flare, but very, very similar. It's basically like a cosmic radiation wave hitting us. And very similar because it's a massive amount of electromagnetic frequency, which shifts our vibration. Now, something that came through when I was taking a look at like what's happening or what's about to happen, because once again, it's this energy right now of like waiting, anticipation, anxiety, weird dreams, like things are ramping up, but we have no idea what they're ramping up towards. And so it looked like if a giant solar flash or some sort of cosmic wave were to hit us, and we are getting hit with these things all the time, but I'm talking about a big one, then it would actually hop us all collectively into a higher timeline. The weirdest thing that came through with this channel is if we were to hop into this other parallel timeline, collective one, a big one, then everything that's going on with like different mandates and political stuff and shadow government stuff and financial stuff, and even like the 2030 agenda stuff, and I would say even like AI stuff to a certain extent would actually be completely different. I don't want to say removed altogether, but it's almost like we would hop into a different alternate collective timeline and only some of us would remember aspects of the old timeline. And then we talk to everyday people and they're like, no, it's always been like this. Does that not remind you of around 2012, we all shifted a massive, massive timeline, and we did it again in 2017, not to the extent of 2012. And like, that's a lot of people's massive awakening. And you walk around, you're like, Wasn't Fruit Loops spelt differently? Didn't they say, Luke, I am your father? Not no, I am your father? I mean, really, right? And so this is kind of the energy that we're ramping up to potentially. And just from my speculation, the only reason why we would get to a point of potentially having a huge, massive solar flash or even cosmic radiation event is because we need more intervention within this energetic shift, because we're not going fast enough. We're not waking up aligned to the timing, to the timelines. I don't know. Like, I don't know when we're going to know. I have no idea when we're going to really know for sure where we're at, or if we've made it, or like if we need to push. I guess I can really check in during April 11th Galactic Federation Summit. I'll probably just ask a question like, what's up with the solar flash? Or like, where are we? Or is there an update? I'm wondering if this like pensive energy is going to last until then, this unmotivated energy. I think a big part of the lack of motivation that we're all feeling is due to the timelines being in flux. And I know that one day when we really understand quantum mechanics, we're going to understand these different timelines. It's not going to be woo-woo. It's not going to be, spiritual awakening based. It's not going to be 3D to 5D. It's going to be scientifically proven that there are an infinite number of different timelines, and that there are moments in our collective experience where all of the timelines are shifting at once. Why? Because of an electromagnetic disturbance. This is why I believe we are playing out a multitude of different, you could call it timelines, in the astral realm during dream state. So here's my advice. My advice to you is two things. One, really go with it. First of all, understand you're not alone in feeling this way, in feeling apathetic, in feeling exhausted, in feeling anxious, in feeling pensive, in feeling like you're missing something, but you don't know what it is. Just be here for it. The best thing you can do is be present with this feeling, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to last forever. And if you can bring in a partner, a best friend, a neighbor, anyone in your life who gets it, and you want to talk about the energy, that's kind of the best thing for you. Maybe if you don't have a community, hop into the website, right? And talk to other Cosmic Society members about this. We should probably start like a forum thread, or someone needs to start that in the general chat, talking about this energy, because I believe the more that we are aware of the shifting frequency, the more we can be aware of glitches in the matrix, Mandela effects. We have a safe space, we have a community, we're recognizing what's happening, and at the same time we're accepting it, because it's not going to last forever. And I just love when the energy switches, because all of a sudden you appreciate the days where you feel motivated. You appreciate the days where you feel really happy and grateful, and like you know who you are and where you're going, because it's uncommon to feel this way. And we're feeling that collective shift right now, which is intense. And then my second piece of advice to you, and it might sound totally contradictive, but this is what I'm doing with this energy, is to set your intentions. If we are in a quantum timeline flux shift where nothing is really set in stone for the collective, and we are in between massive timelines, which means that we're experiencing energy and emotion and time and space differently, then this is a perfect time for you to individually think about what you want. Don't take any action, but think about, start to materialize the timelines that you do want, that are going to be in the highest alignment for you. Like I always say, cut through the bullshit, cut through the flux, create your own reality. This is the perfect time to do that. So I really recommend enjoy the difference in vibration, enjoy the experience, because we decided to come here for this reason, for this shift, and then really utilize this chaotic time, utilize this confusing, projected, fearful chaos to your advantage. Cut through it all and start to really ponder and ask yourself, what do I want? What is my highest timeline and reality moving forward? And hey, if we don't get pushed into the highest vibration this year or next year collectively, you can push yourself into that now, individually. Don't wait on the rest of the world, and don't feed into the bullshit matrix projection that the rest of the world is going into. Because that's all it is. It's a giant, giant distraction machine to take you away from the present moment, to make you feel like something is missing, even though, yeah, it really does feel that way. But to really take you away from the truth that you are a piece of source and that you're here to have this momentary, albeit wild experience, and you're in control. You're in charge. You always have been. Don't get distracted by the shifting matrix right now. Cut through the bullshit and get to the real shit. And hopefully that helps. This was a little bit of therapy for myself, so I hope that it was a bit of therapy for you. I just needed to come on again this week and just say WTF, and we're in this together. So keep up the good work, everyone. Hopefully you apply some of those things. I'm actually about to set all of my manifestations right now. I just feel like that's the only thing I can do in this vibe. All right, bye for now.